Hello, welcome to Expat American. I am the Expat American. Behind us is a Russian school. I live here in Moscow, and my children go to Russian school. Would you send your children to Russian school? Would they become communists? Would they learn anything? Will they grow up and become good people? Watch this video and find out what Russian school is like. Bistro, bistro, fast, 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 fast. Днем рождения тебя! Oh, go, Christoph.
Ну давай, давай.
Быть неосторожным. Это... Вот еще одна мою. Азбуку всю прочитали, ура!
Whoa! You did, Christoph! I'm gonna be sick. You ready?
Yes.
Молодец! I wish Christoph had been holding the camera. Look, this is where I ate it. Smash the ground. Oh, боже мой. Вставай! There's a lot of fun to be had in a Russian neighborhood. But what about going to school?
Такая тяжеленькая, тверденькая, наверное, стучать не буду. Так, давай, рассказывай, Кристоф.
Это твердый знак. Он тяжелее. Он меня держал.
Christoph, what is that behind you?
School.
And what does it say on the sign over your head?
Дети.
And what is kids? Very good. Smart guy. So that's a sign warning people to walk and drive carefully around the school.
Yeah.
So what do you learn in school?
Математика, русский, чтение, окружающий мир, занимательная математика, английский. Как вы думаете, почему я загадал слово «подъезд»?
Подъезд.
Beside me is a typical Russian public school. In Russia, kids go to school at the age of 7 and they finish at the age of 17. So that means your child will be in school for 11 years.
Потому что он всегда что делает, Кристоф? Разделяет согласный от гласного. Молодец,
Ура!
Talking about public schools, we call it the secondary school or secondary education. Our education for these schools starts at the age of 7. Sometimes you can be 6.5, but you cannot be younger than 6.5. So it depends on where your birthday is. So you can start your school at 6.5 or 7, and then you will have 11 years of school. So when I was studying again in the time of Soviet Union, it was 10 years, and then I was in experimental school. They changed it to 11 years, and then so anyway, it ended up that I finished my school and I was studying for 10 years. We have public schools, and if you prefer, you can go to a private school. We have a lot of Christian schools, like Protestant schools, Catholic schools, Orthodox schools. So you actually have a lot of choices what school you want your child to go to, depending on your financial situation and your preferences.
Christoph, where's your bag? Where's your bag?
Our son, Christoph, he goes to a public school. This school used to be specialized in math. I think still is. That's the school where they're studying math a little bit deeper. And in Russia, we have a lot of schools where they're specialized in something, like they could be schools specialized in biology and they have a little bit extra classes of biology, or they will teach children a little bit on a deeper level about this subject. We have schools specialized in foreign languages, let's say English school or French school or German school.
What are those?
What?
What are those?
Actually, in Russia, we study a lot. We have a lot of homework. We have also a lot of extracurricular activities at school. So our son, for instance, he has his physical education, of course, 2 times a week. And the physical education lasts till the very end of school. So it's like for almost 10 years, the children, they have their physical exercises. Like I remember in America, it's optional at some point. I don't remember what grade it becomes an optional, where you can choose whether to have your physical education classes or not.
They are called trophies. You win them if you win a game or you're excellent in something.
We don't call it the elementary school and middle school and high school, but we do have 1st grade to the 4th grade. This is one step. You can call it elementary school. And then they have the same teacher. It's called the class teacher is the same. Of course, they have different subjects, different lessons, then they will have different teachers, but their main teacher is one teacher who is teaching them math, Russian language, literature. We call it nature, or it's kind of like the basics of geography.
Christoph, who helped you make this?
What?
Who helped you make this?
Aurora.
Aurora?
Yes.
And then from the 4th and for the other 5 years, I think from the 4th to the 9th, it's kind of like you can call it the middle school. So this is where you start having all kinds of different subjects with different teachers. Like for instance, you'll have a teacher of biology, a teacher of geography, a teacher of algebra, and a teacher of Russian language, and teacher of art, a teacher of IT technology. So there'll be different people giving you the knowledge at school.
That's the shoe rack?
Also, we have such a thing, it's called Prodlenka. That is a program for children whose parents are working through the day and they can't pick them up, let's say at 1 or 2 or 3 when school ends. So then there is a special program for the children who can stay at school and do their homework and be under the care of the teachers and play, have some food, do their homework, and then the parents will pick them up around 5 or 6 p.m.
So you have your indoor shoes and your outdoor shoes.
This is outside shoes. This is school shoes.
It is mostly for the elementary school when the kids are young and they can't go home by themselves and stay at home alone. It's very convenient for some parents who have to work, from 9 to 5.
Almost ready?
No.
Also in Russian schools we have a lot of life, like a lot of interesting things, a lot of fun. Like we have different type of excursions where the whole class is going on a bus somewhere into museum or excursion or exhibition, or to watch something interesting like a garden or a zoo for younger children. Then they have a lot of different activities, like they're doing some kind of fairs in school where they will make something with their own hands and then they can show it to the parents and other students, like theater shows where the kids are participating. So they're doing it through the year and then they will show it to the parents. We have also all kinds of extracurricular activities like soccer and basketball and samba and martial arts and all kinds of sports they can choose, and they can come to school, and again it's really cheap, so it's usually just a little fee where the kids can play sports or do some extracurricular activities like chess and throwing and gymnastics and a lot of other things. I can't even think of everything you can choose from. And besides that, we have a lot of sports schools. This is where if you're trying to be a professional, let's say hockey player or gymnast or figure skater or I don't know, basketball player, so you can go to it's like half government, half private schools. There are fully government schools, but you can go there. In many cases, it's absolutely free. You can go there and practice, and if you feel like that is something you would like to do, you have skills for this and talents, you can become a professional sportsman, or you can just enjoy it, and then you can realize later on that, oh, I'm not a professional sportsman, but I still can enjoy it, and then you can be in a different group or even in the same group, but you'll be just doing it not so seriously. In some modern schools, we have swimming pools in schools. Not all the schools have it, but like I said, the more modern schools which were built like maybe 10-15 years ago, some of them, they have swimming pools where the kids can take these classes during their PE lessons. Sometimes PE lessons are taken, for instance, in winter they can ski, and they can come with the skis into the school and leave them in the school, and then have 2 hours of skiing and snow, and get back to school and change their clothes and continue their other lessons. Also about meals, in schools they have breakfasts and lunches, and the kids who are staying later on, they also have like this type of snacks at school. So it is a part of school. They have a school canteen where they all meet, and the food is fresh and well prepared, and also the parents have an opportunity to look ahead of time on the menu, and like 4 times a year, 3 times a year, the parents can vote for what type of menu they want to have, and sometimes they can even come to school to try the food to be sure that they like it, or kind of try how tasty it is and the quality of food. So they're allowed to come sometimes just randomly and try and see what their children have for lunch and breakfast, let's say. So our son likes breakfasts and lunches a lot. Like he said that it's always something tasty.
They also have childcare, which is called детский сад, and that is for children that are, of course, younger than 7. Like this guy right here.
Talking about the childcare, in Soviet Union times we had, as what I remember and my mom was telling me, so we had the childcare also from 0 till 7. But nowadays, I think we have only a few places left where the child can be accepted to the childcare when he or she is 0. Because right now, Russians feel like the younger children, the babies, they should be with their moms. And the moms can have the maternity leave for 3 years, and many companies are paying for this maternity leave. So mom can still get her salary and take care of the child.
Maxim, where are we?
It's sorry.
That's right. He said it's a childcare.
Groups for age like from 3 to 7, and they're separated based on their age, on the age of children.
Oh, go. So in my experience, living in America, childcare, детский сад as they call it here, is ages 0 to 5, and it is private. You have to pay for it. And for me, that was an average between $500, maybe if I'm lucky, to $1,000, maybe more per month per child. But in Russia, детский сад, childcare, is also public and free.
Of course, we have public детский сад or kindergartens and private kindergartens, and the private ones, they also have different range of prices. So there are more expensive and there are cheaper versions. It just depends on the amount of children, the facility, the professionalism.
Maxim, what is it? Хочешь помоги? Where is yours? Here it is. Yes. Are you supposed to take that home?
Yes.
Okay.
When we came to Russia, he was already 4, and it was just the best time, the perfect age for him, because he was already old enough to be bored at home, to be with us, and it was time for him to socialize with the kids of his age.
Maxim, where is your locker? Every colored panel here is a locker, and there's a Russian cartoon character on each locker. But Maxim, his locker, number 4, is Tiger. He gets a not Russian cartoon character. Would you call that British or American? It's a trick question.
They have a lot of extracurricular activities, like he plays football and they're teaching him how to draw and paint. He has some dancing classes and some kind of gymnastics. And the price of these extracurricular activities, it's very cheap, and a lot of activities, they are free, but some extracurricular activities, you have to pay some. His meals 4 times a day if we want to, so we are taking him from the kindergarten around 5, but you can, the kindergarten is open from like 7 or 8, it depends, 7 or 8 a.m. till 6 or 7 p.m. And some children, they even have their dinner in the kindergarten. So, but it's breakfast, then it's lunch, then there is another meal after they take a nap. It's called poltnik. It's like some snacks they can have, and then it's dinner for someone who is still in the kindergarten if their parents are working till 6 or 5 and can pick them up a little bit later.
Maxim, is this your classroom? I see lots of toys. That's where you guys eat and play. This is your nap room here. Very cool. Lots of giant beds off the floor. Maxim and I are going home. It's the end of the day. The kids are outside playing, so we are taking a look around while no one's here, just so as not to be in the way.
I'm really happy because they have their own nurse in the kindergarten. They have the speech pathologist if the child needs it, as a counselor, or we call it psychologist. So they have the real cooks, so they have the healthy, natural food, because they cook it in the facility in many places. So in some places they deliver them, but they're always hot and fresh.
Today is Sunday, so we are not in childcare and we are not in public school. We are playing in one of the random playgrounds that they have in every neighborhood, on every street.
This is a little excursion into the world of the Russian education system. about the preschool and school system, and the higher education. It's a big topic by itself.
Зеленый. Моя яйца. Чуть-чуть симпатичный. Немного.
Зеленый попугай. Зеленый попугай.
Вот это вот.
Вкусно. Does this look like pizza in your city? All right, we wanted to end our video here at a restaurant on a date in Moscow because we thought you might like to know, what if you are living here with children? Some restaurants have play places in them, and I think it's fair to say there are more restaurants with play places in Moscow than what you will find in America. But anyway, hope you like this video. Click like, subscribe, ring the bell notification, interrupt my speech, and send this to your friends, and we'll see you next time. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering where Christoph and Maxime are, we had Expat American crew members babysit them tonight, so we could be alone on this date. Sorry about that.
Днем рождения, Днем рождения тебя!
School.
Где мои?
Go. Еще подарок.
Покажи, что это?
Камера.
Ого, хоббит!
Ты знаешь, что это? Это фемантическая. Американец любит, русский люди любят.
Ого, что это такое?
Ого, что это? Это твой новый большой. Очень круто, семья. Это broken?
Не-не-не.